Hey, what's up? You know what? I need to talk about this because this is getting ridiculous. You know something? I don't like what's happening over in, Palestine, Israel, that conflict going back and forth. I see it for what it is. But one thing I'm not for is black people doing this whole sacrificial slave stuff. There's too much of this kind of nonsense that's become commonplace, where we lay ourselves across the train tracks trying to make sure everybody else is good. I don't mind helping people, but that concern needs to be reciprocal. I'm not going to sit up here and just blindly vouch for anybody and everybody simply because, considering the times that we're in, you have to be strategic in how you move. It's not about, not caring. It's not about not caring. You don't have any damn power to care. You don't have a voice. You don't. When a plane's going down, you put the mask over yourself first. Let me play this video.
Will not support anyone. I will not support anyone who supports and funds genocide. Then you're going to be the reason Trump gets reelected and then all your rights will be taken away. I will not support anyone who supports and funds genocide. Well, when the Republicans get in office, they're going to go ahead and make this back to Jim Crow South, and black people won't have any rights. I will not support anyone who supports and funds genocide.
You see, that's where she lost me. That's where she lost me. That's that sacrificial slave mindset. That's a carryover from slavery. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of, during slavery, black women had to take care of somebody else's kids. Other groups are the kids. You have to look after other people more than you look after yourself or your own kids. That's crazy. That's crazy. No other group acts like this. Do you understand that? Nobody else acts like this. They will show some concern. They might, kick a couple dollars your direction, but no way in hell would they lay down their lives for your situation to be better. I've never seen that. Ever. From a collective angle, that stuff just doesn't happen. But this is the kind of sacrificial slave mindset that black people will display. These aren't just words. They actually go out and do this kind of stuff. Why do you think, we're tagged as low IQ? Because nobody on the face of this damn planet would do this. They look at you as a fool for doing this. They might pat you to the head, but guess what? Never in a million years would they go this far or put their neck on the line as what you're doing now. We are on the verge of political extinction to where our voice won't even matter, period. Forget about, our issues. If you have no weight to sway the political atmosphere, then people just ignore you. You are not a first class, second class, third class citizen. You're a nobody. You just exist. I'm done with this kind of mindset. Like I said, I don't like what's happening over there. If I had the power to do something, I would move more constructively. But I'll be damned if I sit down and sacrifice my well-being for anyone. We're trying to keep our heads above water. And you have black people out here still talking this nonsense.
South, and black people won't have any rights. I will not support anyone who supports and funds genocide.
Now, she goes on to give every kind of example imaginable, and she gives the same response. So basically, she's willing to throw her entire well-being under the bus for somebody who she doesn't even know. I'm sorry, my love don't run that deep. It is at a very surface level when it comes to the concern not being reciprocal. Like I said, it's not about not caring. You have to be smarter than this. It reminds me of, to use a video game example, it reminds me of people who would pick up, a teammate only to be gunned down themselves. I would see that time and time and time again. And even I would do that kind of stuff. Because there will be a scenario to where, you're playing an army style game, your teammate gets wounded, they're down, you go out there to pick them up and you just get shot down and you both die together. That's what this stuff is. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be the field medic who gets shot down. Man, like this is some low IQ behavior. There's no way in hell would I do this, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's not about being mean. You can't do anything. The concern is not at the same level. If the concern were at the same level, look, I don't mind fixing problems together, but I'm not gonna be dealt the way they dealt Obama. Obama was completely disrespected, and he put his neck on the line for every single group outside of Black society. Do you understand how much they disrespected this man? Like, he is the prime example of, trying your damnedest to help and cater and look after everyone. And he has been the most disrespected by other groups. By these other groups, by people who are, not white and not black, the brown sector. He is nothing to them but a stepping stone. He's not respected. They like him for what he can do for them. I came to realize that. Because if we had true, actual allies, we wouldn't be facing the issues that we face. Because from a numerical standpoint, we outnumber the quote unquote, people who are trying to oppress us all. So what's the damn problem? The problem is we have too many collaborators in our midst who want to be a part of this system, not fight it. And you know what? I've seen that way too commonplace with other people. It's not just coming from one sector. It's not just white society. It is collaborators from Arab, Jewish, Asian, Latino, all across the damn board. People who wish to craft out the American dream for themselves will carve through you to get to it. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. And I'm just not for sacrificing myself for somebody else's well-being like that. Either we mutually gain or, we're mutually miserable. I'm not doing that whole, it's tacky. It's tacky usury. You have to be a fool to sit around and go along with this kind of stuff. I'm cool. Talk to me when a concern goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? Physically, tangibly. Not wearing a damn t-shirt or holding up a sign. I don't want to see that. I don't care about that. Because people don't notice, but the person who called the police on George Floyd, that was the owner of that store. He's Palestinian. He's from the West Bank. When people come here, they fall in line, man. They fall in line. They see us as an underclass. They don't deal with us at a civil style level all like that. They know that there's a lever they can pull. A button they can push to try to threaten us to get us to act right. I'm going to call the police. We've seen that time and time again. Don't tell me you haven't seen it. The collective respect needs to be there. It's not that they can't work with us. They just come here, become insular, and don't work with us. They build up each other. You have to balance that off with reality. You have to match what's up in your head with what's going on in the real world. All that stuff, that George Floyd scenario, you can blame on Derek Chauvin. You can blame on the cops that, assisted in George Floyd's murder by squishing this dude to death. He died because he was squished to death. Hey. The guy who owns that store, he's from the West Bank. He's Palestinian. That's very significant. Because before you start talking about some damn allies, you need to first find out if they actually feel that way. I'm not about to be used.
Did you know that everybody in their world can tell who their enemies are? Everybody in this world except black folks. Everybody else knows who their enemies are. Ask the Jews who their enemies are. They'll call them for you. Ask the Palestinians. Ask the Chinese. Ask the President of the United States. He'll tell you, we believe we have no enemies. Because if we believe we had something, it means we'd have to fight. And some of us are not willing to do that. If we believe that we had some enemies, then it means that we would have to stand for something. But one of the major reasons that black folks refuse to recognize that they're enemies of our progress and enemies of our people is because we are too busy looking for approval. We're too busy looking for acceptance from these people. See, the Japanese aren't looking for acceptance. They're looking for superiority. The Koreans are not looking for acceptance. They're looking for superiority. The Russians, none of these groups are looking for acceptance from these people except us. Because you can believe this. All of these groups that I've named, the minute they get their superiority, don't expect them to be sympathetic either. They'll treat you just like the Europeans did. So when you decide to call yourself third world and all mixed up in coalitions with these people, you better watch and guard carefully who you coalesce with.